when FIFA select Waka Waka as the official song for the 2010 World Cup, many of us Africans notice say this song sound familiar, but the voice where they sing am different. Small time, our people for Cameroon can't raise voice say this song won't resemble Zangalewa, where the Golden Sounds sing since 1986. In fact, the song popular for the whole Africa, so the group could change their name to Zangalewa. It happens say the group sue Shakira and her label go court because there be no one claim say na Shakira write the song. Last, they settle the matter come out from court, but they don't tell us how much and how they take settle. This now one example of cultural appropriation. And at this matter, what we want to talk about today. Sabi Nation, this now how una see am. Cultural appropriation. Femo, wetin be cultural appropriation?
Cultural appropriation, now when person borrow something, either adopt or copy or borrow something from another person culture or from another culture generally, then can't use them. So sometimes if you use them as per se, you go use them say, okay, I dey use them, but I go tell people say, now these people get this thing. Yeah. Or you go use them as per se, I give them my own, like I use their own.
Yeah.
Or most of the time, like the time where the thing they raise eyebrow. Now when people could just use another person's culture or use something from another person's culture, but no acknowledge say this thing come from another culture.
Yeah.
They could use them like say na their own. They go one claim. Sometimes they go one claim say not them. And I get this thing. So now that one I be cultural appropriation. The thing begin gain ground in the 80s. When some people were sabi book where begin look the matter of colonialism and how the colonialists use the culture of the people where they colonize. So when they come begin look down, they come see say, you get so many things from the colonialists where be say come from other people culture, but the colonialists acknowledge those things. So just like you go UK, you go see one kind of thing. Then maybe when you travel go Africa, you go see that exact same thing. But from when you see them for Africa, you go no say, it be like say this structure or this artifact or this thing, it be like say this thing don't spend this for so many years. So now so all these people will study and will be academics. Now they can't look the matter away, and they can't begin bring the cultural appropriation. In fact, now them name and cultural appropriation. And they can't bring out to light, make people begin understand what they happen. And this one are for in the 80s, right?
Yeah.
But lately, the thing they offend people well because the awareness don't they come ground and people don't they see say, it be like say copy plenty, like the example where you give for the introduction. You go see and say a lot of people go they hear for the first time say no be Shakira really sing that song. But if you remember when we did primary school, we marched to that song like for streets.
Yes,
yes. You remember now that?
Yes, now.
We
do all the babua and everything.
We dance exactly. A popular song where we know. So even me, when I hear the song for World Cup, I know say this not that song where we they sing that time. They shine for But then Shakira be one go claim say that she write the song when she did walk for streets, the song, the inspiration come. Now they say, Auntie, Cameroon say, Auntie. No. So now our people, now you right. And so, good thing be say, they agree, they set to court. And then, so when they do the study for this cultural appropriation, they can talk, say, they get 4 major types of cultural appropriation. So, cultural exchange day. Okay. That one be say, I give you my own. You give me your own. If you remember those days, now we they do for ISEC. Now we they do for ISEC, you know, that's exchange. Cultural exchange. Somebody
yeah.
come from Europe, come our side, come learn about us, and we go that side, go learn about them. We come exchange, discuss, and all those kind of things. So they get cultural exchange. That's cultural appropriation, you know.
Yeah.
Then cultural dominance. Now, like the colonialists, we come, you know, they colonize, they bring their own culture, use and say press
our own
other people, press other people's culture, then collect those people's own culture. You understand? They collect those people, collect culture, come still press them down more as per say, okay, we don't collect this one, we don't collect them. They don't even acknowledge, say, oh, we collect this one. Yeah. Like, you know, most of them, they'll carry artifacts from Africa, go put for museum for Europe. They show and they collect all the money, but none of that money, they go Africa to, you know, to kind of honor the people we actually get
the culture. Yeah.
Then they get cultural exploitation. That one, you know, that one are the one where we say they go take people culture. You understand? Go use them, make money, but no acknowledge or give back to where they collect the culture. This one they happen where for the fashion industry, music entertainment industry, and then for movies too. You know, like all those Tarzan movies where they act those days. You understand? They sometimes they acknowledge, say, okay, this part of Africa, they go talk the history of the place more. But most of those movies those days, they use Africa. But all the money they make for that movie, 10 kobo no go the Africa, culture where they use the culture, make money. So that's a cultural exploitation. So that's still a type of cultural appropriation. Then they get this one way be cultural transculturation. You know, transculturation are now hybrid. So it could be like, say, I look your culture, I see say your culture, I like them, but I don't want copy them exactly like your own. I want take from your culture, add join my own, mix them up, and then do something new. You know. Yeah. So that's another type of cultural appropriation. But the one way they offend people pass, now that's exploitation part. You know, those ones will be say they will collect, you know, elements from other people's culture, but they go use them, make money, but they no go acknowledge, number one, say, oh, this thing I copy from so place. And then secondly, they go make money with that particular element or with that particular culture, but they no go give them back to the people. They no go give anything back to the people who get the culture.
Yeah. Wow. From Wetin you just talk now, some of the elements of culture will fit be target of appropriation, like intellectual property, artifacts, dance, clothing and fashion. You know, should be mentioned something about fashion.
Yes.
Let's say Madonna or so do something like that. Language, music. For music, you remember say Michael Jackson use Mano Dibango. You don't remember Mano Dibango now?
Mano Dibango, yes.
So Makosa for 1972.
Yes.
Michael Jackson used that for that in that song they gave starting something. Yeah. Something like that. Then let's say Rihanna can't use that same thing for because if you listen to the music for the background, you will hear them.
Yeah, that's part of Michael Jackson's song. We sing that. We say that. Mama say.
That one too cost big, you know. Then another appropriation element of cultural appropriation are religious symbols. Remember Selena Gomez? She be bindi.
Yeah, that mark where Indians they put for
they use exactly. The decorations, medicine, makeup, hairstyle, tattoo, you know. Kim Kardashian, that one too. She use hair. You remember the story?
Well, she braid her hair. Braid her hair. Then she can't go post say she do Bo Derek braids. Meanwhile,
Derek something.
Bo Derek. Meanwhile, Bo Derek. Now this woman we act this old Tarzan movie.
Old Tarzan, you know,
that old Tarzan movie where for Africa, where the tribe for the movie, the Fulani tribe now breed her hair. You understand? So for the movie, they even acknowledge say this now Fulani braids. Then she can go use them, can call them Bo Derek braids. Now they can call and say, Auntie, who dashboard Derek Braid? Derek Braid. Although she apologized, but yeah, that's another way of cultural appropriation because they don't want to change the name now from normal Fulani braids. They won't come give them Oyibo name.
Exactly. Then our seasoned chef, our 3-star Michelin chef, Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah.
Man, you know about the food matter.
Yes.
So this is not just part of the examples where we take use to know how about cultural appropriation. So Femo, just one quick question. Wow, just one through.
Yeah.
Cultural appropriation. When if you say they offensive.
Yeah, I mean, before we even talk, say whether it is offensive or not, I think the first thing we'll get to do is say make we even know how we go take no say with even the appropriate people culture. You understand? So the first question where you go ask yourself to know whether it's the appropriate person culture. Now the first question I say, why they do this thing self? You understand? If you want speak person language where you never speak before, you understand? You first ask yourself, say why I won't speak this language? Do I know anything about these people or how the language or the meaning of the language? You get
meaning of the language,
exactly. So you go first ask yourself that kind of thing. So then, or you go also ask yourself, say, whether you follow popular trend, or be you just want to learn about these people culture. You understand? And then you also ask yourself, say, am I knowingly, and whether I knowingly they insult these people or are they use their thing or this part of their culture, or are they use that respectfully? May I give you an example of that one? You understand? Say sometimes we go just sit down and say, Omo, make we chop edikaikon.
Yeah.
Or we want chop afang soup.
Yeah.
Of course, afang soup na calabar soup. You understand?
Yeah.
So if people like us, maybe say we grow up for Benin, we talk say we want chop afang soup. Now appreciation, you understand? We appreciate the culture and the soup sweet. You understand? Yeah. So then one way to use people culture respectfully. You understand? Yeah. But if you see somebody now, or you see one girl now, you can't call the girl, or you want insult the girl, you just call her ekaite. You understand? You don't insult the girl using name where it come from one culture. You don't take style call the girl house help.
Yeah.
So two questions where you go ask yourself: are they use this thing for insult, or are they use them as stereotype?
Yeah.
So you see Calabar boy now, or you see person now, you just call him Ete, or you call him Akpa or something, or Okon, just because you want insinuate, say, this person a house boy. Sure, you understand that kind of thing. So it's very wrong. Now, just a very disrespectful way of using a name for the name of somebody culture. Just turn the name to a stereotype. Sure, you know that kind of thing. Yeah. So another way where you ask yourself whether you they appropriate person culture. Now, if for instance say, okay, this thing why they do so, I know say now from another person culture, but now borrow I won't lie, say na me say na me get them or na me invent them. You know, so you need to ask yourself all these questions. Then if you fit answer the questions, you will know whether you the appropriate person culture or you they show appreciation or love to that culture. But to answer your question, cultural appropriation, they become offensive if you use them for negative stereotype.
Okay.
Then also, if you use them disrespectfully, you understand? If you use them to spite people, you understand? Might give you one example with Muhammad Ali. You know this Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Yeah, the star.
You know where they put star for where they put people star. So if you go there, all the stars, all the people where they don't ever give star, you go see their star for all of them. But they put them for grand. So as they walk pass, you could even some of them say you see people they match and pass, or people go pose with them, sit down for grand, pose with those stars. Yeah. When they approach Muhammad Ali, tell them say they won't give him star.
Yeah.
And Muhammad Ali tell them say in love to get the star. He appreciates the honor where they won't give him. But unfortunately, he go decline. And they come ask and say, why you won't decline? I tell them, say, make they look in name. He said, when in changing religion, he changed the name from Cassius Clay to Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
And that name, now name will be say the whole religion, the respect.
Exactly.
You understand? So because in carrying name where a whole religion, the respect.
Yeah.
And of course, a whole culture, because they get different culture of people who say their culture don't merge with that religion. So a whole culture of people, they respect that name. So he no want, may they go put the name for ground for streets where people go the march and pass. Yeah. So that's why he talks, say, I beg. I thank you now. I accept the honor, but may they not put the name for Hollywood Walk of Fame. Because of that, they can't carry the name, put them for wall. So for Hollywood, for that Hollywood, so now only Muhammad Ali name, now you go see for wall. Every other person, the name they for ground.
Yeah.
She understand. So you see how he used that name respectfully, right? Respectfully. Then can't look the thing will happen for France, where they draw cartoon of the same prophet.
Yes.
Sure, you see him. So
they make caricature
of the same prophet. So you go see say that one not show respect to other people's religion.
Yeah, they cause quarrel that period.
Exactly. We cause serious terrorism and
cause serious quarrel.
Plenty people die. So those are the kind of question where you go ask yourself, say this thing why they do so, is they offensive to people? You understand? So that another way where we say you go take people, they carry the other people culture and then use them offensively. Another thing we say, you go ask, once you take anything where it gets religious value to people, you understand, where it get religious value to a set of people and you use them inappropriately, then a cultural, in fact, it is so bad, that they call cultural degradation. So under that cultural appropriation, so that one a cultural degradation, because you degrade other people's culture, with the way you use them. So another thing we say, once you use culture where we say a particular set of people or a racial group, like the one where you mentioned of Kim Kardashian, where do braids, you understand? Then another way of using it, in a very offensive way. Like if you use them in a way where we say, portray the people, we get that thing naturally, portray them well. You understand? Then another offensive way. Now, this one, not be saying culture, or not be sometimes not be even elements of culture of people, but when you use something, depict a set of people. Like it go hard for you, anytime where you watch any show for American TV, anytime where you watch any show for American TV, once they won't mention Nigeria, the first thing they go talk, say, are you a Nigerian prince? And once they talk, say, whether you be Nigerian prince, you know where they carry the matter go. You understand? Then a cultural appropriation. And unfortunately, most Nigerians who are there for America never call them out. Because go watch any comedy show or even movies. Once they want to talk about fraud, the next thing they go mention, Nigerian prince.
Nigerian prince.
You understand? The next one they go mention. So those are ways where we say that you go see, say, you fit.
They become offensive.
They become offensive when you use them in that way.
Wow. Make we look how we would avoid cultural appropriation. The first one, make we ask ourselves all the questions we Femo don't ask. Use them to teach ourselves how to respect other people's culture. Then make we give credit, or at least try make we recognize the thing where we borrow from other people's culture, and make we know they try to claim them as our own. Then make we take our time learn about the culture and people where we they borrow this culture from, before we adopt their culture. Then we could try before we adopt their culture, we could try to visit their place. For instance, if now food, we could go to their restaurant and go eat their food. Attend authentic events where the real people will get the culture organized.
They organize, yeah.
Yeah. Now, make we look the difference between appropriation and appreciation.
Yeah.
Now, very thin line there between those two, the appropriation and the appreciation. Now, cultural appreciation, now when person or people express their willingness to learn, admire, and appreciate another people's culture without say them they do compare and contrast.
Yeah.
You understand now?
No judgment.
No judgment.
Just learn.
Admire, and
appreciate. Yes.
Exactly.
Appreciate. All those things. Yeah.
Yes. Now, the major difference is say why appreciation they start from curiosity or the willingness to learn, love and respect that culture. Appropriation are just to copy.
Yep.
Or straight out thief of the culture or elements of the culture.
Yeah. Sabi Nation. Make we just learn to the respect of that people culture.
Yeah.
When we're small, if we borrow person thing, you go respect them, you go use them respectfully. If you go give them back, or if they dash yourself, you understand, you go still use them. So make we learn how to appreciate people culture. I love diversity. I love the fact I love the fact I fit chop Calabar food, I fit chop Igbo soup, I fit chop Igbo food, but then I go appreciate them. And I also like the fact a lot of us Nigerians, this social media war of Ghana jollof versus Nigeria jollof. Yeah. Everybody knows jollof rice come from Senegal. You understand? Yeah. But the fact we for Nigeria make them a lot better. You understand? Yeah. Then we can't give them our own name. Nigeria jollof rice. Jollof come from here. But this one, the Nigerian version, now they chop. So see that a cultural appreciation. You understand? Yeah. And of course, I go take Nigerian jollof over another jollof. Any day, anytime, any day.
You are the same thing.
Not to talk about, maybe not. Anyways, Sabi Nation. Now here we go draw the curtain today. But before we go, we want to know our first live show they come up on the 26th of March.
Yes,
Friday, 26th of March, 2021. Woo. So we go come live on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. That one now you go they call simultaneously.
Yes. Come and see the fine boys.
And so make una come see our face, come ask us questions. For our first show, we go talk about how we take start time, why we start time, how we take get the name. Yeah. Everything we go talk about and then we go open the floor for plenty questions. Then we go still discuss the episodes where we don't get this week. We'll still talk about appropriation. We'll talk about our last episode, colorism. So if you never listen to that episode, go listen now because we will talk about time too.
Yes.
And then we go talk about anything we want make we talk about. In fact, now from this our first live show, now we go select Wetin we go discuss for the next episode of our HUSAPodcast.
Yeah.
So make una save that date, March 26, 2021.
Yes.
So now here we go finally draw the curtain for today. Until we see una again, until now hear from us again next week. Make una continue to stay safe.
YellowFela next.